All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. We are here with a pause work style replay session for today's class. So we're going to start off doing a warm up and we're going to do it together, starting off right away with swinging out your arms as I start to explain all this other stuff. For our supersets, our exercises themselves, which will be an upper body as well as a core focus, we are going to be pause and working, which is I'm going to explain each superset. You're going to pause this video, keep going your arm swings, and then complete each part on your own time, then replaying, or rather pressing start to listen to the next part. So we're going to get you started with this warm-up though, doing it all together. Finishing up those arm swings, we're going to grab onto our long band. Of course, if you do not have a long band, you're going to follow along doing the same movements without a band. But we want to hold that band nice and wide, starting with these pass-throughs. We'll complete 10 times there and back, trying to clear our head without moving it out of the way, but rather tapping into that shoulder mobility to get those hands and arms in front and behind the body. So we want to close the palms facing the floor behind us, and then we want to open them as we have those arms come behind the body. So we're going through 10 times there and back, or you can just follow along with me. I'm doing 10. Finishing up those ones. The next one, we're going to narrow up our hands, holding that band just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, pressing all the way up and over our head. We're bringing that band back behind, hopefully onto the back of the shoulders, and then we'll press up in front of the head onto the collarbone. Same thing with this one. We don't want to be poking our neck out of the way, but rather we want to make our arms and our shoulders do that work of getting back there and in front of there as we go back and forth 10 times total. So we'll go through these ones again. Same rules apply. If you don't have a band, you're just going to follow along with your arms, holding your hands where mine would be if you had a band in your hands. Okay, so let's go through 10 of these. Once we are done 10, we are going to put this guy down and head down onto the floor. You can come on down here, join me for this next one. In our all four position, we're going to take one hand, put it behind our head, reaching that elbow down towards the top of the hand with an inhale, and then we'll exhale, open up, following the elbow with the eyes, trying to see the ceiling right above ourselves, and we'll go through 10 of these on each side. So we know the drill with this one. We're trying to warm up, wake up everything in our mid and upper back, which means we don't want any movement in our legs. We want to keep those legs and hips as still as possible. Going through 10, and trying to exhale as we open, maybe getting that range of motion a little bit bigger as we go through them. 10 over there, and then we'll switch. And we're going to do 10 on this side over here. So we'll go through these ones. Same thing with that breathing, inhaling as we close, exhaling as we open, trying to get a little bit bigger as we go through them. 10 of them. Finishing these ones again, keeping our hips still. Okay, so we'll go through those last two. And then last one, once you finish those ones, 10 of them, we are going to stand back up to the top, grabbing onto our band once again in that little bit wider than shoulder width apart position, going through our band pull aparts. So for those of us who don't have a band, you're going to do this a little different, bent over, rotating your thumbs up, straight arms are going to fly open so that we get that same activation work in the back of our shoulders, upper back, as we would get with this band here. Now I'll have you guys count these ones. We're doing 20 total. So we'll go through 20 of these guys. Now, I didn't really mention the equipment that we're going to use, except for, of course, this band here. I will be using my 8-pound dumbbells. We're also going to be doing some rowing variations. So if you would like to set up and utilize your TRX now or then when we get to those movements, that will be a great option if you have it as an option. Okay, so we're going to finish off with putting this band down and doing one more set of those arm swings, but this time I'm actually going to have y'all count them, going through 20 total, alternating which one goes up and down, which is not new to us, and we've been here before. Keeping the palms down, facing the floor, chest up nice and high. Then 20 times total of these ones here, moving everything through our shoulders, warming them up, waking them up, if they weren't already. Okay, so that is going to conclude our warm-up. That being said, we are going to be going through one warm-up set for our shoulder press, which is going to be starting us off for our first superset. So once again, I'm going to talk right now about both of our exercises. We're going to have two of them that we're pairing together. The first one is going to be our half kneeling single arm shoulder press. So what I want you to do actually right now is grab onto a lighter weight. Eventually I will be using both of my 8-pound dumbbells, but I'm going to start with just one dumbbell, holding it on the kneeling side, going through 10 reps total on this first set. The non-pressing arm is out and strong. We're making a fist in the hands, and we're trying to stay in that neutral grip position. So we want to be right in this sweet spot here, not quite in the wide, not right in front of the shoulder, but right in the middle there. So we'll go through 10 over here and 10 over here. And again, this is just our warm-up set. So this doesn't actually count as one of your official working sets, which you're going to start again when you pause this video and complete them on your own time. So that's how all of our supersets are going to look, is me explaining, you doing, and then you coming back and listening to the next part. So that's going to be our first one. Again, eventually, as I start the second set, I'm going to double up my weights, my dumbbells, to make a 16-pound dumbbell. Those of us who don't have dumbbells, we can also always use a band instead of the dumbbell, which you probably gathered if you don't have dumbbells, going through, again, those same reps, 10 on each side. So that's going to be our first one, 10 over here, 10 over here. Again, preferably with something heavier than you just used on that first warm-up set. We're going to pair this one with a bent over, neutral grip, paused row. So again, if you have a TRX, that is a wonderful option for this one here. I do not have a TRX, so I'm going to use these dumbbells, hinging the hips back, and going through 1, 2, 3-second pause for all 10 of our reps. 10 is our number to beat. So again, we're going to go through the shoulder press and then going into our double arm rows with a 3-second pause on every single rep. We are going to complete 4 rounds total of that, okay? So what I want you to do right now, after I say go, is pause this, get going on your shoulder press. Again, that's a half kneeling shoulder press where we're completing 10 reps over here, 10 reps over here, and then we're going right into that double arm row with the 3-second pause, completing 10 of those, taking little to no rest in between each set and each round, okay? So back to back, no rest in between. Are you ready? Ready or not? Go get it done, and I'll meet you back here for the second superset. Okay, so you finished the first superset, and now we are here for the second superset. We're going to be working, starting off with a lateral raise. So the lateral raise, ideally we want to use dumbbells, holding one in each hand down by our sides, working with a nice high rep range of 15 reps. So for most of us, the weights that we have, 15 reps is going to be a good place to be. But if you do again want to make this a bit more challenging for yourself, we can take that same pause that we had in those rows and take it here into these laterals. So we can hold up here for maybe 1, 2, even 3 seconds every single rep in order to challenge ourselves for these 15 reps. Again, if you do not have dumbbells, what you're going to do is hold on to a band. You can use a long band or even 2 of your loop bands looped together to create a long band. And we will go through our lateral raises. Same rules apply with that pause. 15 reps total on that one there. So we're going to follow the same limited rest on this next superset here. The second movement that we're going to do is down on the floor. We're going to be working with a Superman with a pull-in. So we want to lay down on our tummies, take that same band, holding it sideways, same way we had it in the warm-up, a little wider than shoulder width. Legs down, hips down. We're going to pull the arms in and pull the shoulders down and back, squeezing them together, reaching them out, but never touching the floor, going through 10 reps total. To challenge ourselves on this one, same rules with that pause, that optional pause. We can hold it in here for 1 to 3 seconds, and we'll do that every rep, and we'll go through, again, 10 reps total. Once we're finished those ones down there, You are back up for your second set of your lateral raises. And once again, we will complete 4 rounds total. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, go get it done. And again, I'll meet you back here for the next and the final part of our upper body strength. Here we go. All right, hello, and welcome back for your final part of this upper body strength. We have a nice tricep. We're going to be supersetting 3 movements together. Once again, no rest. There's really a theme here of no rest in between these movements. So starting off again, I'm going to explain these 3, and then you're going to get them done just as you did on the last part on your own. Starting off with this first one, which is for the triceps. So we're going to stand hip width apart, again, ideally using dumbbells in our hands. Soft knees, hinging the hips back. Then we're going to pull the dumbbells into this narrow grip position, tucking the arms into the body, but not touching the body. We shall then extend the arms back into our tricep kickbacks, going through 10 to 12. So you have a little range here. You can stop at 10, or you can add those extra 2 reps and go up to 12. And that is going to be our first one. So same thing, if you do not have dumbbells, you can grab onto a band and just kick 1 back at a time and count out your 10 to 12, doing them this way instead. That is the first one. Second one that we are going to do is that band pull apart. We had a little bit of practice of that in our warm-up. We're going right all the way up to 20 reps total. So we want to hold the band a little wider than the shoulders. Pull the band apart, stop before we see it go all wet noodle like this, and also stop before it hits our chest. Again, going through 20 reps total, trying to keep our shoulders relaxed so that we're not losing our neck. We want to pull the shoulders down, and every time we pull the band apart, we're trying to squeeze and retract those shoulder blades to get that nice worked fill-in happening in our upper back. Same thing, if you do not have the band, you are going to be in this bent over position, thumbs facing away from the midline, lifting up, same thing with squeezing the shoulder blades together. This is going to be our second one, and again, you are doing 20 reps total of those ones there. The very final movement is going to be a single double row variation. We're going back to our 10 rep range, although this one's kind of a sneaky 20, which you'll see why. I am once again going to be using dumbbells. If you choose to use your TRX, what you're going to do is do all your singles, and then all your doubles, okay? But if you are using dumbbells, we're hinged position here, 45 degrees, not quite parallel with the floor, and then we're going to pull in 1, and then both, and we're counting just the doubles. So we want a single, and then a double, that's 2, and we're in this neutral grip position. Same one that we were in for the first rows. No pause though. Trying to work through the single, double rows. And we want to make sure that we're not seesawing. We want to wait until this dumbbell is done, returns to center before we pull this one in and before we go into the doubles. Once again, you're only counting the doubles. Okay, we're doing 10 total. And again, if you're using TRX, I want you to do all those 10 singles, switch all the 10 singles, and then finish off doing 10 of your doubles, because it just does not work so well to alternate if you are using the TRX. So that is going to conclude our final tricep. We are doing 3 rounds total of that only, okay? So don't accidentally do 4 unless you truly want to. We are going to complete 3 rounds and then come on back here and listen in for your core work that's going to finish us off. Okay, go get it done. All right, welcome back, my friends. Here we are for the final part, which is all about our abs and core. We're going to be hanging out down on the floor. We do not need any equipment for this last part. We're going body weight. First one that we're going to do is a side plank. So for this last part here, you are counting all of your reps for these. We're going to be working with a side plank in this hopefully full body side plank position with this reach through, reaching down towards that opposite hip, working through 10 reps of this reach through. So I'll do 10 over on this side here, and then I'll switch and I'll do 10 over on the other side. If you're really struggling with these ones, You can always try doing them from your knees, but we want to make sure that the hips are pushed forward. And then again, we're having that nice rounded shoulder reaching down and in, getting that slight sort of crunched feeling as we reach. You'll feel that work happening down here on the sides of your core. 10 on each side, okay? So that's going to be our first one. And then the very last one that we're doing here is going to be a variation of that V up. Coming into this position here, again, we want to start off that rather by walking our hips back. So we're on the sit bones, not on the back of the tailbones. Legs up, hands behind the head, trying to keep our elbows open. And we're going to go into this sort of bicycling motion here, counting 20 reps total. So every time I come with my knee and elbow together, that's 1, 2, okay, and you're doing 20 total. Now this one's a lot harder than it looks, so right off the bat, I'm going to show you a way to make this a little bit easier, which would be to have that slight support from your hands behind the body, okay? I don't want you going down onto your back like this. I'd rather you stay up here with a little bit of support from the arms, and then just have those legs moving rather than just doing like a standard bicycle, okay? So 20 reps. Once you're finished that, we are going to take a little bit of timed rest. We'll have 30 to 45 seconds of rest before we complete 3 more rounds to make it 4 sets total. So once again, side plank with those reach throughs, 10 and 10 on each side. And then we have 20 of our V-up bicycles. And that, my friends, is going to conclude our session for today. Okay, so go get that done. And once you are done, I want you to come on back in here real quick, because I have a couple of quick stretches that I want you to do together, okay, or on your own rather, but you gotta listen in. Okay, go get it done. All right, welcome back. Good job. Hopefully you're feeling good. Probably feeling real worked in the core. To finish us off here, we have 2 stretches that I would highly recommend that you do. The first one is for our upper back and the back of our shoulders. We're going to take our hands, interlace our fingers, pull our shoulder blades apart, and then we'll tuck the chin in, bringing our chin down to our chest. Holding this here, we're going to take about 5 deep breaths in this position. Okay, so again, I'm going to let you guys do this on your own, so I'm not going to hold it with you. Once you're finished, about 5, maybe even 10 deep breaths if you want to hold it a little longer, we're going to round down to start to include that lower back. And then we'll hold this here, straight legs. You can even have them completely locked out. And you should feel this nice focus stretch on the low back, maybe still a little bit in the up back. And we're going to hold this here for the same amount of time and or breaths that you counted for that first hold. So this is the first one. Second one is going to reach behind our back. It's pretty much the opposite of what we just did there. Interlacing the fingers, bringing the arms and hands together, and then opening up the chest and the shoulders in the front here. If this stretch is a little bit too deep, you can always take your hands, put them on the back of your hips, and then pull your elbows together, and or get yourself between that door frame, or even hold one end of your TRX if you have it on each side, and just fall through and get that nice open stretch. Okay, that one, those 2 rather, you can complete as many sets as you'd like, maybe from even just 1 set upward to 3 or 4 sets total, which is gonna, again, help us loosen up all the stuff that we just did. Okay, thank you guys so much. Go get that stretching done, and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully live in the Zoom room if you can make it, or for the replay, whatever it is, for our last session of the week, leg day. Okay, have a great day, my friends, and I will catch you next time.